Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I'm not gay. So, in the first half of Deuteronomy 12, it talks about how they must destroy everything that is a symbol of their enemy's idolatry. And those things are located on hills and mountains and other places as well. And this goes back to Hosea and Luke 23, where it says that they say to the hills and mountains to fall on them and to cover them, what have you. Because they're relying on these falsehoods that they worship, these false idols. It goes on to give instructions about how to give sacrifices, what they shouldn't drink, right? Don't drink the blood of the animals, okay? Not to eat certain things, the olive oil, the grain, what have you. And these things are symbolic of the punishments that are inflicted on them and God's orders. And to make a long story short, it's not worth taking your sweet time trying to understand what it's saying unless you have a lot of time on your hand and that's your thing. Okay, that's one of my disagreements with the writers, the authors of the Bible, is they do all this excessive, unnecessary stuff while people keep doing the wrong things. If everyone was in a kind of theocracy that actually had a valid moral order, which couldn't possibly exist after my flesh dies, then it would make some kind of sense. But when you look at it, it just serves to distract. And that's not the only thing that the Romans and the early Semitic people in the area, what have you, came up with to distract people, why they sexually enslaved them, why they abused them, why they stole from them, what have you. Their main deity, as you see in the Bible, is Baal. And then from there, once they secure all the sexual control and all their kind of rackets, then they said, okay, tell them this, this, and this. So it kind of keeps hope in the box while they're abusing people and stealing from them and molesting them, what have you. Okay, so in the second half, it goes on to talk about more things that are kind of unnecessary. And people like to kind of pretend that they know best about these things and act like they're important. And that is a key part of their racket, of their hustle, of their deceit, of their trickery and treachery. So curses on everyone who tries to exert power over people based on their knowledge of insignificant details in the Bible. Curses on people who are trying to teach me about the Bible. Curses on people who are on duty right now. Curses on everyone who interferes in my videos. Every time they do, everyone outside the divine order, their souls will suffer, with an emphasis on white, Jew, and LGBT people according to their deeds, because they've been doing things to try to give their groups the upper hand, to unfairly elevate them in people's minds, to give them more women, more money, more power, and that is extremely disgraceful, obviously in the eyes of God, obviously in general, what have you. So when we look at the lifeblood of the animals, right, it's very simple, okay? These things all pertain to God. They pertain to nature. How do people interact? It goes back to the mark of the beast. What it's saying, to make a long story short, is be pure, be righteous, don't be like a beast, don't be like a damn vampire, don't be like the prostitute drunk off the blood of the saints. Okay, instead, live and die for God and have the blood of righteousness spiritually flowing through you and be in the divine order. All these things God tells them to do has to do with that, has to do with the Ten Commandments, has to do with divine order. It says, do not cheat the righteous one out of his right to lead. And I'm the righteous one, right? Proverbs 16:10 through 12. Proverbs 24. Psalm 45, the most excellent of men, the mightiest warrior, the mighty one, the mighty warrior, the top martial artist ever possible, riding forth in the cause of truth, justice, and humility, girding his sword, right? The top martial artist holding the sword of the word of God, okay, his literal sword in battle, what have you. So these things are the essence. So when people try to, act like they know better than me, when they try to tell me what to do, when they interfere with my videos, obviously you can see that it comes with extreme curses. So put yourself in my shoes for a second, without doing anything that's wrong or sacrilegious. If you were me and you saw these whites, Jews, and LGBT people constantly harassing you in a racial way, you see the spectrum, you know that one who's slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. Whoever doesn't gather with me scatters. There's various compartments and levels in Babylon's system, and they're the main ones pushing the line for Babylon's system. Would you single them out for the most punishment? Yes or no?